limited edition proof 190 of 350. The tagline on Goodreads was like Pride and Prejudice and Witches. Like, that's just sad. I feel like the mystery of this one is going to be my favourite mystery of all of the books. Like, that's like the size of my head. I need to know that there's going to be more books in this series. Hi friends, welcome to the start of a new weekly reading vlog. Let's also ignore the fact that I look like a drowned rat because I've just had a shower, but I realised I need to start a new weekly reading vlog because I have not actually filmed a proper weekly reading vlog since June, I want to say, and that's so bad. I'm so sorry. I actually do love filming weekly reading vlogs. For some reason I just kind of fell off the bandwagon with it a bit. I think it was because I was just becoming so slow with getting them out that I was posting them like 3 weeks after that week had been. So I just need to get better at like editing as I go along filming. But anyway, so this is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. Hopefully you will actually see this as soon as the week is done. So let's talk about what I am reading. Physically, I am reading We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. This has literally just come out, but I was really lucky to have been sent a very limited proof edition. This is actually a numbered proof edition, which I discovered when I started the book this morning. It's limited edition proof 190 of 350. There's only 350 copies of this proof edition out in the world, and I have one of them, which is like insane. Perks of being a bookseller, guys. But yeah, so this is Richard Osman's newest book. It's a murder mystery and it is a new cast of characters. So I've read the first 3 books in his other series, The Thursday Murder Club, and really enjoyed them. I've just got the last one to read, The Last Devil to Die. Haven't read that one yet, but hopefully I will get to that one at some point soon. But I thought I need to start We Solve Murders because it's just come out, because I have this really pretty hardback proof edition, and yeah, I really enjoy a good murder mystery if it's cozy, and I found that The Thursday Murder Club is a really good cozy crime series. It just is quite comforting. I feel like it's just it's quite comforting because the characters feel like they could be my grandparents. Like there's so many traits of the characters that really remind me of my grandparents, and it's just a very comforting series to me. So I'm intrigued as to We Solve Murders because this is more, I don't feel like it's as cozy because it's set like on an adventure around the world, which is very different to The Thursday Murder Club, which is just set in like this retirement home. But I am excited still, and I believe I'm only 50 pages in, but I believe that one of the main characters, Steve, his cat is going to come along for the ride because there's cats like everywhere in the marketing for this book, and he has a cat called Trouble, which I'm just obsessed with. I think that's so funny. But yeah, it's basically this father-in-law and daughter-in-law. The father-in-law is a retired detective and the daughter-in-law is like a really highly paid bodyguard for like celebrities and stuff, and at the minute she is protecting an author who's like the best-selling novelist in the world from like the Russian mafia or something. So intriguing. I'm not sure what's going to happen to bring them together, but yeah, apparently that goes on like this sort of adventure all around the world. So I'm intrigued as to what's going to happen with that. And it is like mid-September now. It's, what day is it today? The 15th of September, something like that. So I'm feeling like it is the start of spooky season, you know? That's why I'm reading a murder mystery. My NetGalley read, my ebook, whatever you want to call it, is not really a spooky read. It is The Spice Gate, and I can't remember the author's name. That one is an adult fantasy, epic fantasy, and I'm 50 pages into that one as well, but I'm not taken with it. I'm finding it a little bit confusing. I don't feel like I'm really understanding the world building, so I feel like I just need to sit down and like properly try and binge a whole chunk of it if I can. But yeah, I'm not really enjoying that one as much. But in terms of like spooky autumnal reads, murder mysteries, I'm feeling like once I finish We Solve Murders, then I kind of want to reread Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Let me go grab it. So I kind of want to reread Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo because I was filming my autumn TBR video yesterday and I really want to read Hellbent, which is the sequel to Ninth House, in this autumn, but I feel like I need to reread Ninth House in order to read Hellbent, because I can't really remember a whole lot of what goes on in this book. Like, when I was filming that TBR video, I literally had to go and get Ninth House to remember any of the plot of it. So I feel like I definitely need to reread it. I did read it for the first time like 2-3-ish years ago. So for such an intense, heavy book, I don't feel like I can jump straight into the sequel without rereading. So I might reread this once I've read We Solve Murders. Who knows? Who knows what mood will take me. Maybe I'll want to go for a cozy romance. I'm not sure. But anyway, so I am going to go and read some more of We Solve Murders. Going to my auntie's later. We're having a roast dinner, which will be lovely. We get to see the dog. So obviously I'll take you guys along with me for that. But yeah, I want to try and get to like a third of the way through We Solve Murders. So hopefully I'll be able to do that today. But look at this really cute bookmark that matches the book. We got those at work, so I was very pleased to grab one of those to... I love having a matching bookmark to the books. But what I'm kind of struggling a bit more with this one at the minute, in the first like 50 pages, is it seems to be a lot of discussion about like social media and stuff, which to me doesn't feel very cozy. I say that as someone talking on YouTube, but in a cozy crime I kind of don't really feel like social media adds to the coziness. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it kind of takes away from it a bit, so I'm intrigued as to how that's gonna play into it. There also seems to be a bit of discussion on like AI and chat GPT, so I'm not really sure where that's gonna come in, but we'll see. Hopefully I will continue to enjoy it, or enjoy it more rather than the first 50 pages. So let's go and find out. Hi friends, so it's Monday night. I have finished both of my current reads. The first one that I finished was The Spice Gate, and unfortunately that has turned out to be a 2.5-star read for me. I think it just wasn't for me. It was well written and the world was really unique and the concept was really fascinating, but I just didn't really like emotionally connect to any of the characters, and I found the actual world building to be quite confusing and info dumpy and like just not really engaging at all. I do think that I would read from this author again. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to come next, but in terms of my enjoyment of that book, not so much. So yeah, that is unfortunate, but what can you do? My physical read, I finished We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. This is like a 4-star read for me. So this was the start of a new series for him, and it was very much... I feel like it was very brave of him to kind of make this decision to be so different from the First Day Murder Club, because the First Day Murder Club is obviously very cozy, set in a retirement home, like old people are the main characters. It's like really... I don't quite know what the word... It's just very, very cozy. This one I don't know if you could technically class it as a cozy crime. It's kind of cozy in terms of the fact that the characters are quite endearing, but it's very much jet setting. Like, they go from like the New Forest to South Carolina to Dubai. Like, it's not set in like a sleepy little English village. And I feel like also there's a lot of characters in here, and maybe it's just because it's the start of a new series, and as the series goes on I might become more endeared to the characters. But at the minute I'm just not loving all of the characters, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just not feeling like that connected to them. And I don't know if it's just because I can like see people that I know in real life as the Thursday Murder Club characters, whereas I can't really see anybody that I know and love as the characters in this. I don't know if that really makes sense. And also the cat does not play as big of a role as I was hoping, so that was sad. But it's very twisty. There's a lot of sort of little mysteries that unravel as you're going along before the big one is revealed. But I just don't feel like the big plot twist really impacted me as much as it was kind of meant to. It's very hard to explain, obviously, without spoiling the book and the mystery, but yeah, it just wasn't really kind of as shocking as I was kind of thinking it was going to be. There were a couple of moments as well that are a little bit predictable in terms of like betrayals and stuff. So yeah, interesting. I just don't think necessarily as good as the Thursday Murder Club, or at least The Man Who Died Twice. That's my favourite of the Thursday Murder Club books that I've read so far. Obviously not having read The Last Devil to Die. I don't know if it's just because it's the start of a new series and I'm just very endeared to the Thursday Murder Club characters, but I do think it was quite brave of Richard Osman to kind of branch out in such a way. Like, this is very different, and I feel like when you have such massive success with the Thursday Murder Club and that cozy crimeness, it would be very easy to just have all your books be like that. But I do have to say that I'm very glad that the next book that he'll be bringing out will be going back to the Thursday Murder Club and those characters. So I just need to read The Last Devil to Die before that. Obviously, I've got like a year, but hopefully I will read that one this year. So in terms of my next reads, I don't know what my next physical read is going to be yet. I need to pick that. But my next NetGalley read I have started, and it is Neverford Hall by Natanya Barron. And this is like, the tagline on Goodreads was like Pride and Prejudice and Witches, which I think is so fun. So, you know, like Pride and Prejudice and zombies, but with witches. I think that is so much fun. I really love that concept and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm only like 30 pages into it, but I am enjoying it so far. It just seems quite light-hearted and silly, goofy time at the minute. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes on. I love anything kind of Regency, witchy, that kind of thing. Like, that's my jam. That's what I'm in the mood for. So I'm hopefully going to really enjoy it. It is my first Natanya Barron. I do have, what's it called? Is it Queen of None? That's the first book in her like Arthurian retelling series. I have that physically, and then I have the second book, Queen of Fury, on NetGalley. It's not looking like I'm going to get to those anytime soon. So I'm intrigued as to how I'll like her writing style with this other series, with the Neverford Hall series. Hopefully I'll enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know what my physical read is going to be yet. I know I talked about reading Ninth House earlier. I don't know whether I want to read that next. I don't know whether I want to try and finish another series first. I know obviously if I read Ninth House I would then read Hellbent, so I would be catching up with the series. I don't know if Hellbent's the last one or not. But I don't know if I want to necessarily start that this week. It's quite an intense book. I don't know if I want something a bit more light-hearted, but then I do have the light-heartedness in Neverford Hall. It's very tricky, very tricky. I'm gonna have to sleep on it, but I will obviously let you guys know in the morning what I decide to read and how I'm getting on with Neverford Hall, which I'm gonna go and try and read a bit more of, whilst also possibly at least starting an episode of The Vampire Diaries. I'm doing a rewatch of it at the minute, so yeah, that's the plan. See you guys tomorrow. It's Tuesday night and I am about halfway through The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson, which you saw me start this morning, and I am really enjoying it. So this is the sequel to Truly Devious, which is like a YA mystery. It's set at a very private, very isolated boarding school called Ellingham Academy, and it is about... in the 1930s, the founder of the school, Albert Ellingham, his wife and daughter were kidnapped, and then a student was found dead, and the person claiming responsibility wrote this note, this kind of riddle, and signed it Truly Devious. Sorry if the camera angle has changed. My phone cut me off for no reason. Anyway, and then in present day, you have Stevie, who is like an expert on this kidnapping murder case, and she's kind of like a true crime aficionado, and she wins a place at the school, and she goes there to try and uncover what happened, who was behind the kidnappings, who was truly devious. And then something else happens while she's there, and Truly Devious is back. And so this is the sequel following on from the events of the first book, and she is still trying to uncover what happened, who Truly Devious is, but there's kind of added elements of what happened at the end of the last book in the present day. That's adding a bit of stress to it all, let's just say. But I am loving this series. It is really fun. It is really entertaining, and all the vibes are there. Do you know what I mean? Dark academia vibes, set in this private boarding school, set in a very isolated mountain in, is it Vermont? And yeah, I'm just really loving this series. I can't believe I've never read this series before, that it wasn't one that was on my radar, when I was sort of really into Holly Jackson and all of that, during COVID. And Naya had been telling me that I needed to read this series for years. So I'm so glad that I'm continuing with it, and I really feel like I just want to pick up the next book straight away once I finish this. I think I have it. Is the next one Hand on the Wall? I can't remember which order they go in. It's either the Hand on the Wall is next, which I do own, or it's the Box in the Woods, which I don't own, but I'm pretty sure it's the Hand in the Wall that's next. So I could go straight onto that one if I wanted to, and then just buy the Box in the Woods, but we'll see what I want to do, because I do have it was a proof edition, even though it's obviously been released now, of Maureen Johnson's newest book, Death at Morning House. So I do have that to read as well. So we'll see what I kind of want to read after this one. But yeah, I'm about halfway through and really enjoying myself, having an excellent time with it. And then my NetGalley read is Still Neverford Hall by Natanya Barron. I'm almost 100 pages into it now. I'm kind of reading it a bit more slowly. I'm not really sure why. I think it's the formatting of the document on NetGalley is kind of making me read it a bit slower. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. It's a really gentle, light read, very different to The Vanishing Stair. Yeah, it's really cute. It's cozy. It's, fancy dresses and balls and a gentle witch, and it's a nice time, I feel like. And it's kind of one of those lighter reads, but also works for spooky season, which I didn't realise it was going to. So that was good. And then me and my mum actually just finished watching this new series on BBC called Night Sleeper, which was about a train hacking or something, and it's made me terrified to get on trains. Let's just start off with that. I get on trains quite a lot because obviously going to see my dad, going to London or whatever. And now I'm scared to get on trains because I'm sure it probably wouldn't work like it did in the show, but that's obviously kind of a real possibility, I guess, because everything's digital nowadays. So that was quite scary. But it had a weird ending. If you've watched the show, the ending of the last episode is a bit lackluster, and I feel like that's the problem with a lot of BBC ITV shows, especially thriller shows, because they don't really tend to know how to wrap it up. You can have such a good tense show, but it's ruined by the ending. And it was a little bit the same with Night Sleeper. So I'm gonna redeem TV by going and watching another episode of Vampire Diaries, of course. But the trailer for Heartstopper Season 3 was released today, and oh my god, it looks devastating. Obviously I've read volumes 4 and 5, which this season's going to be based on, and I'm not ready to see it played out in live action. It was emotional and heartbreaking enough on paper, let alone on TV. So I'm scared. I'm also upset, well, not upset, but I am upset because I'm working on the day that the show is being released, so I'm not going to be able to watch it until the evening, and I'm scared I'm going to get spoiled, even though obviously I've read the book, so I can't be spoiled, but you know what I mean. So yeah, so I'm sad I can't binge watch it as soon as it's released, which is what Erin and I did with season 2. Like, we were ready the second it was out. We binged the whole thing in one go, like no breaks. And I want to do that with season 3, but we'll just have to do that in the evening. But anyway, so yeah, so lots of TV excitement going on. But yeah, I'm loving The Vanishing Stare, so hopefully gonna maybe finish it tomorrow, possibly. I don't know. How much have I got left? I think I've got like just under 200 pages left, which is not too bad considering I've read 175 pages today. It's a potential that it could be done tomorrow, because I did waste like 20 minutes of my lunch today just being on my phone. So if I don't do that tomorrow, I could definitely finish this, I feel. So we'll see, we'll find out, and then we'll have another physical read to read this in this vlog. I'm kind of like speeding through, and I'm realising that I've read We Solve Murders and now The Vanishing Stare, which are both mysteries, so maybe this could be like a mysteries kind of vlog. I do have obviously the sequel to this. I have a couple of other mysteries. What have I got? I've got a proof of B. Fitzgerald's thriller like adult debut. I feel like I've got a few that I could make this a mystery vlog with. We'll see what I'm in the mood for once I finish The Vanishing Stare, who knows. But yeah, I will check in with you guys tomorrow and hopefully finish The Vanishing Stare. Hello. Okay, so I have just finished The Vanishing Stare by Maureen Johnson, and I loved it. So twisty. I love that you finally kind of figure out what's been going on, only to then have everything kind of be flipped on its head. And yeah, there's a lot of hints to things that you thought were one way not being that way anymore, and I just feel like Maureen Johnson's mind is very, very clever, so I'm really, really excited to read the next one, which I do believe is The Hand on the Wall. I'm very, very excited. I feel like this was not necessarily a 5-star read, but close, like 4 or 4.5, I'm not entirely sure yet, but I really enjoyed it. If you like a good YA mystery that's really twisty, keeps you on your toes, I would really recommend picking up the series if you haven't already. I know I'm like way behind with this series, but I would really, really recommend that you pick this one up. Really, really great. It's so much fun as well. You know, like, I feel like that's the joy of YA mysteries, or I guess mysteries in general, is the whole keeping you on your toes thing is just like, it ends up being very entertaining, a real whole load of fun. And so if you can hear the noise outside, the windows in this staff room are so thin, you can hear everything that goes on outside, so I'm really sorry if it's really noisy. Yeah, really, really great, really enjoyed it. So I need to pick out what my next read is going to be. Obviously I'm at work, so I won't pick it out yet, but I just wanted to let you know that I'd finished that and had a great time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I'll pick up. I kind of do just want to carry on with the series though, because I have The Hand on the Wall, but I also have 9 Liars, which is the last book in the series. I just don't have The Box in the Woods, which like goes in between those. So I kind of want to read The Hand on the Wall, and then I can justify buying The Box in the Woods when payday comes in 2 days. So yeah, had a great time. Hi guys. So it is Thursday morning. I'm sure you can hear the horrendous traffic outside, as always. But I am going to be continuing on with the Truly Devious series with The Hand on the Wall. And then I believe that The Box in the Woods and 9 Liars are they standalone, set in the same world? Because this says it's the final book of the series, but obviously there's those other 2, so I'm not sure. But I have ordered The Box in the Woods to come in because I feel like I just want to read the whole series in one go now. Obviously, without the first book that I read last year. Obviously it's not going to come in today and tomorrow's my day off, so I'm probably going to get it on Saturday. So if I read this as quickly as I read The Vanishing Stair, hopefully I should be on track to pick up The Box in the Woods on Saturday as soon as I get back to work, but we will see. But yeah, this is the third final maybe book in the Truly Devious series, and I'm really intrigued because now Stevie knows who Truly Devious is. She's like, solved the case, or so you think, but also she thinks. So there was quite a big turning point, like the story was really turned on its head at the end of the last book, so I'm really intrigued as to how this book is going to start, so I want to get straight into it. I am still reading Neverford Hall by Natanya Barron and enjoying that. I don't feel like it's going to be like a standout read to me, like maybe at the minute I'm halfway through and it's feeling like a 3.5 star read, so hopefully that will change. But yeah, it's not really standing out completely to me at the minute. I am enjoying it, it's just not feeling like a new favourite book, if that makes sense. But I don't know if it's just because I'm enjoying my physical reads so much because they're so entertaining that all I can think about is this series rather than Neverford Hall. If that makes sense. So I'm gonna go and continue on, or start The Hand on the Wall. Hello. Okay, so you're joining me from my kitchen. I don't actually know if I've ever been in my kitchen during a reading vlog before. But anyway, the kitchen door is open and someone is making some sort of sound outside, so hopefully you can't hear it. I'm sorry if you can. And also the wind, but it's such a nice day, so I want the door open. But anyway, I have finished Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This was, I want to say I enjoyed it slightly less than The Vanishing Stair, so I feel like it's more a 4-star read than a 4.5 star read. But this kind of wraps up the whole Truly Devious mystery. I can see why The Box in the Woods and 9 Lives are going to be different to these 3 books, because the whole Truly Devious Ellingham mystery has been resolved in this book, and I really enjoyed it. It was twisty, it was entertaining, and just a fun time. Like, this series as a whole is just really fun, and this one I just feel like it didn't have quite as many like shocking moments as I was kind of hoping for, considering it is the last book in the series or in the trilogy. So yeah, I wasn't as taken with it as I was with The Vanishing Stair, because that one shocked me more. But I really liked the characters in this one. I really liked how we learned what happened with the mystery and with the current murders that were going on. I just felt like I just wasn't like that invested in who it turned out was behind the murders, and like what turned out to have happened to the Ellinghams, you know, in the 1930s. I just feel like it was more tragic and sad than, like, the 1930s one anyway, than it was devious. Does that make sense? So yeah, it wasn't like, I don't think the series is on par with like Holly Jackson's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder for me. I feel like that is still my favourite YA mystery series, just because that one shocked me more and had me more gasping at the book, if that makes sense, whereas this one had me more going, oh, like, that's just sad. So I hope that makes sense, but I still would highly recommend this series. I'm really excited to read The Box in the Woods because I read the description of it that's in the back of this book and it does sound amazing. So I have ordered that, and that has arrived at work today, so I just need to go and buy it tomorrow, and just start reading it straight away, and then read 9 Liars as well. Obviously I'm probably not going to wrap up, or maybe I'll just wrap up this vlog when I finish 9 Liars. This can just be like We Solve Murders plus finishing the Truly Devious series vlog, but it's just reading mysteries in this vlog really. But yeah, so I'm very excited for The Box in the Woods. So I have also been continuing on with Neverford Hall, and that is what I'm going to try and finish for the rest of today. I feel like I've got about 70-ish pages, maybe 80 pages left of it. So I'm hoping I'll be able to finish it today, because obviously probably some of that will be acknowledgements and stuff like that. From the ebook file. So yeah, I'm hoping to be able to finish that today, and then I think the next one on my NetGalley TBR is The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean, and I'm really excited to read that one because it's about a magical zoo and I am so here for it, and the finished copy that we have in store is stunning and I am so tempted to buy it. Like, today was payday, so you know, I'm feeling like picking up a few books tomorrow. I do actually have some in the cupboard that I actually do really need to buy because I've had them reserved for ages. But anyway, I do really want to read The Phoenix Keeper, and hopefully I enjoy it so that I can get a finished copy as a trophy, you know? Speaking of like spooky season, I guess, me and my mum have been watching Ghosts for the very first time, and we're on the last season, and it just keeps making me cry. Like, we watched that episode where one of the ghosts moves on in season 4 and I cried, and then we watched the Christmas episode with Pat that made me cry. Oh, honestly, it's so emotional, and I'm so sad that it's ending. I wish it would just go on forever, and I do wish I'd watched it at the time that it was coming out, like when it was like massive and everywhere. But yeah, we're only just watching it now, but we have literally watched it in like a week and we are just obsessed with it. I feel like it's definitely going to be one of those shows that I would just rewatch over and over and over again. Like, it's absolutely become a favourite show for me. It's so funny, it's just so lovely as well and heartwarming. Robin is my favourite, the caveman. He is my absolute favourite. He is so funny. I just want to quote "What do you want?" at everybody now because that scene just lives rent-free in my mind. But yeah, so we're loving Ghosts. So if you actually have any recommendations of shows to watch that are similar to Ghosts after we finished it, please let me know, because I don't know what we're going to do with ourselves once we finish it, because we're both obsessed with it and we'll probably just watch it from the start straight away. So yeah, that's what I'm consuming at the minute. So I think that, yeah, I'm not going to start another physical read until I get The Box in the Woods tomorrow from work, because I don't want to like break up reading the series again, because I might then not want to pick up The Box in the Woods straight away, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really just going to focus on finishing Neverford Hall and then reading hopefully starting The Phoenix Keeper on NetGalley. I have just gotten quite a few different NetGalley approvals today as well, so I really need to like get on top of reviewing them. I think I have over 100 books on my NetGalley TBR. A lot of them I own physically, so I can read them, like I can read 2 NetGalley books at once, if that makes sense, because I can read one physically and one actually on the app. But yeah, 100 books on my NetGalley TBR is a lot, but I love it. I love reading books ahead of time, even though I'm reading them about 4 months late. But anyway, yeah, so gonna go and try and finish Neverford Hall and make dinner. Friends, okay, so I have had a paid book haul, which you will have just seen. So I bought 2 Robin Hobb books, Impossible Creatures, which is actually our children's book of the month at the minute, but I bought it in hardback because I feel like I'm gonna love it, and the sequel is coming out next September in hardback, and I don't want to then have to wait another year for the paperback of that, if that makes sense. And then I bought also another T. Kingfisher book. I haven't actually read the only T. Kingfisher book that I've got, which is Nettle and Bone, but it's spooky season and The Hollow Places was just really catching my eye, and I feel like it's going to be really good horror. And I also got The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, so I have now started this. I'm very, very happy to have started this because I am loving it. So this is still following the same characters from the Truly Devious trilogy, but it's a new mystery, new setting, new murders. And so in 1978, I believe, these 4 camp counsellors, I think, are murdered. I've only gotten to the bit where they found one of the bodies, so I'm not sure if the other 3 have been murdered, but there's a scene at the start where they're all, you know, there's stuff going on, and I'm finding it really fascinating. I feel like the mystery in this one is going to be my favourite mystery of all of the books, purely because I just love that kind of like scary, spooky woods kind of murder thing. Like, I just love the vibes of that, so I'm really, really enjoying this and very excited to carry on. I'm only like 60 pages in, but I feel like it's going to be such a quick read. Not sure how I'm going to get all of these books home, because not only do I have the ones I bought, I also received, I'm being a long list reader for the Waterstones Children's Book Prize, so I've received one of the books for that. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what's on the long list or not, or what I'm reading, so I'm not going to show you, but I received one of the books for that. And then I also received that amazing box for The Proof of Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen, which I was losing my mind when I opened that, because what the hell, it is gorgeous. Like, you've got food in it, you've got cookies, you've got a little bookmark, you got the note from Laura, but then you also got that stunning proof edition, and I'm so excited for that book. Like, you do not understand. Like, it is based off of Taylor Swift's song Exile, which is one of my favourite songs ever, so you best believe I am going to read that as soon as I possibly can. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. Oh, why is it always so noisy outside when I'm trying to talk to you? I swear it is not that noisy, like when I'm just reading, but as soon as I turn the camera on, the high street starts making loads of noise. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go and try and finish some more of Box in the Woods, and I will let you know how I managed to get all these books home, because I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Especially blooming this one, Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. Why is it so big? Like that's like the size of my head. How many pages is this? Okay, this is nearly 1,400 pages. That's like 4 or 5 books in one. Brandon, like that's a lot, and the writing is tiny. That's intense. So yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get all of those home, but I'll work it out somehow. I will work it out somehow. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go and read The Box in the Woods. Hello, so I have finished The Box in the Woods and I loved it. I feel like this might be my first 5-star read of the series. It's just so captivating. Like, this was properly shocking to me. Like, you know how I was saying with The Vanishing Stone and like The Hand on the Wall that I wasn't necessarily shocked by it? This one I was shocked by. Like, the murder was like brutal and the reasoning behind it and everything. Like, I really wasn't expecting what came out to come out. Like, that was a really shocking aspect to me. The 4 murders that happened in 1978, there's a lot that happens like with it. There were a lot of secrets being kept in the town at the time, and it all kind of ends up relating, and I found it really interesting. I mean, obviously you kind of hear about these like small towns in America where everyone knows everyone and everyone knows each other's secrets, all of that sort of stuff, but this kind of really highlighted the danger of that. So I thought that was really interesting. I really liked Stevie in this. I thought she really kind of came into her own. I don't quite know how to explain it, because obviously her character development in the first 3 books was already really great, but in this one I just felt like she was even more herself, if that makes sense. Like, she was unapologetically herself, which I really enjoyed. And I loved that her friends came along for the journey with her. I loved that we still had that cast of characters and David was there, and I really liked the romance between Stevie and David in this book. I didn't care for it that much in the first 3 books, but in this one I felt like it worked really well and fitted the story well as well, and David was no longer this kind of weird, elusive character that he is in the first 3 books. He was much more normal, I guess, and I guess that is to do with like his family history and stuff, with what happened in the first 3 books. So yeah, I really liked this. I thought it was a great instalment to the series, my favourite so far, and I'm really excited for 9 Liars, which is what I'm going to be reading next. So that one is still in my library and I can't bother to go and get it. But that one is, I believe it's like she's solving another historical murder, or yeah, another historical murder mystery. But she's going to England this time because in this book, David ends up going to school in England, I believe. In the end, he's going to be doing that. So I think that's why Stevie ends up over there, and she ends up somehow being, you know, brought in to solve this murder from the 1990s, I believe, where 9 people were playing some sort of game like hide and seek or something in like an old English like manor house or something, and then 2 of them wound up murdered and no one knows why. So yeah, Stevie's going to solve that and I'm really excited. I feel like that sounds like a really fun like aspect. It's kind of like is it a locked room mystery? Is that what you call it? I'm not sure, but yeah, I feel like that sounds really fun. I still feel like I'll prefer the mystery of The Box in the Woods to Nine Liars, purely because I just love that kind of eerie forest, like creepy camp setting. Like, I just feel like it really works. So yeah, I am very excited to continue with the series. I'm just going to continue the vlog until I finish Nine Liars. Like, I might as well at this point, because hopefully I should finish Nine Liars Tuesday maybe. Today's Sunday, so yeah, if I start it tomorrow I should finish it Tuesday, I reckon, because these books are so quick and easy to read. And I might as well, seeing as I've read 3 books of this series, I might as well finish the book series in the same vlog. So I'll bring you along for a couple of extra days. And then my other current read on NetGalley is The Phoenix Keeper. I am about 100 pages into it and I am loving it. It is adorable. It's so cozy. There's so many magical creatures and there's this just a wonderful magical zoo, and it's really talking about like the importance of conservation as well, which I think is being woven really neatly and like carefully into this story. I feel like that's a really lovely aspect to it. But also you have the main character Ayla, who has dreamed of being a phoenix keeper her entire life, like it is her dream, and now she is one, and she wants to help preserve this specific phoenix population. They've been hunted to near extinction. The only ones left are in conservation. There's no ones out in the wild anymore, and there's kind of like a breeding program. But then at another zoo, at like the most famous zoo in this world, the female phoenix and her newly hatched babies are stolen. So that kind of throws the whole breeding program up into the air. It throws Ayla's whole job up into the air, and her phoenix that she looks after, she doesn't quite know what's going to happen with her. And it's just turning out to be really sweet and cozy, and I'm really excited to carry on with it. I feel like it's going to be just an absolute favourite book for me. I feel like I'm gonna absolutely love it. It's definitely giving like, I feel like it is giving Legends and Lattes vibes, but not necessarily that kind of super cozy aspect, but more like in the world it feels like Legends and Lattes. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm very, very excited to carry on with it. So yes, hopefully I will continue to enjoy it, and I will start Nine Liars tomorrow. Hi friends! So this is going to be the end of this reading vlog. So I stayed up very late last night to finish Nine Liars, and I didn't love it as much as The Box in the Woods. Let me grab it quick. Okay, so yeah, so Nine Liars I did not love as much as The Box in the Woods. I really liked the mystery aspect. I really liked how we got to see what played out with the mystery. Like, I loved getting the flashbacks to it and finding out the secrets that everyone was lying about and stuff, and then also getting the flashbacks to what happened with the murders. I feel like that was a really eerie change of pace for the series. We haven't really necessarily had that in the other books, but I really enjoyed it in this one. It was really chilling almost, which obviously is perfect for spooky season. But that ending, I need to know that there's going to be more books in this series. I've tried to Google it. There are books 6 and 7 listed on Goodreads, but obviously they don't have a title or a cover or anything. I'm just hoping there is obviously going to be at least one more book in this series, because that ending, it cannot end like that. And also it just annoyed me. I was loving the relationship between Stevie and David through The Box in the Woods, and in this book I was enjoying it far more than I'd enjoyed it in the Truly Devious trilogy. It hadn't really sort of made an impact on me in the original trilogy, but in The Box in the Woods and this one I was really enjoying the romance. And then yeah, just that ending, I'm just a bit like, oh okay, like I'm not sure that that was necessary for this series. You know, this is a mystery series, murder mystery series. I don't feel like what happened needed to have happened, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that necessarily, but it does mean that this one was unfortunately not a 5-star read for me like The Box in the Woods was. But yeah, I feel like it's more of a 4-star personally. So this is the end of the vlog, because I've now finished the Truly Devious series. I'm caught up, so I'm very glad that I'm caught up with another series this month. So in this vlog we actually finished 6 books. That's crazy. I know it's been slightly more than a week, but still 6 books in basically a week is, I'm really happy with that. So the first one, of course, was We Solve Murders. I've been so immersed in the world of Truly Devious that I honestly kind of forgot that I read this week. Feels like I read this ages ago. But this was a 4-star read for me. We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. Fun, enjoyable, cozy, but I just didn't feel particularly endeared to the characters. I just hope that I will as the series goes on. Then finished The Vanishing Stare by Maureen Johnson, the second book in the Truly Devious series. Enjoyed it a lot. And this one I gave 4.5 stars. Then I read The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson, the third book in the Truly Devious series, which wraps up the original Truly Devious mystery, and this was a 4-star read for me. Then I read my only NetGalley arc that I finished of this vlog, which was Neverford Hall by Natanya Barron. That was a 3-star read for me. It was just okay, basically. Have I spoken to you about Neverford Hall? So Neverford Hall, it was just okay. I just didn't feel like it was necessarily what I wanted from it. I definitely preferred the first half of the book to the second half. The pacing was a bit kind of like all over the place, if that makes sense. And while I love the vibes, the Regency vibes, and like with the witches and vampires and stuff added in, it does say that it's Pride and Prejudice and witches, and it's not really as much of a Pride and Prejudice retelling as I was kind of hoping it would be. It's more inspired by Pride and Prejudice and like set in that era, rather than being an actual retelling of Pride and Prejudice, which I think possibly would have been a stronger point for the book. It was fun though, and I did like the characters, but I'm just not sure that I care enough to continue with the series. We'll see like when the next one comes out, whenever that may be, but yeah, I'm just not completely taken with it. The next one that I finished was The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This was a 5-star read for me. Absolutely loved it. Loved the mystery, loved the flashbacks, loved the characters in this and the character development, and I loved the romance in this one. Yeah, this was so good. And then 9 Liars, which was a 4-star read for me. Obviously I have still been reading The Phoenix Keeper by S.A. McLean, but I have not finished that one yet. I'm about 200 pages into it. It's taken me a little longer to read it than I would like. I'm reading about 60 pages a day, and I obviously would prefer to be reading 100 pages a day. That's always my goal of a book, is to read 100 pages of it a day. But for some reason I'm just not with this one. It is a bit slower paced, but it's cozy and it's cute, and I'm really hoping that I'm going to love it by the end, or you know, that it'll be a 5-star read, because I am loving it at the minute. So hopefully that will continue. It's just very cute. We're up to a point now where Ayla is trying to rescue this breeding program for this specific type of phoenix, and she's putting all this effort in, and she's like, you know, rebuilt all these incubators and stuff like that, and it's just really sweet and cozy and magical. So I'm loving the magical zoo, and hopefully I will consider this a 5-star read by the end of it, but you'll find out in my wrap up, I'm sure. So that is the end of this vlog. So over the next week I don't think I'm going to be vlogging, so another vlog will probably come for the first week of October or whatever it will be, because I am reading, I'm a long list reader for the Waterstones Children's Book Prize, as I've said. Obviously can't share what's on the long list, so yeah, I will not be vlogging that while I'm reading my allocation of titles, but I'm very excited to be reading them. So that is what I'm going to be reading for the next week. And obviously I won't be able to include them in my September wrap up because I don't think that, no, because the voting ends at the end of October, so the long list definitely will not be revealed by the end of September. But yeah, so that's the long and short of it. You won't find out what I was reading until like a few weeks, a couple months time, but just know I am reading for that and hopefully we'll love them. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed this vlog. I will be back with another vlog soon. I've enjoyed getting back into vlogging again, and hopefully this one will actually be up within a day or two of me finishing it. Fingers crossed for me, guys. I have edited a lot of it already, so I'm feeling quite confident that I'll be actually able to get this out on time and not, you know, in 3 weeks. Let me know what you've been reading this week in the comments. Let me know what you're currently reading, and if you've read the Truly Devious series, what you think of it. Like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!